You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You're fucked, mate. We're nice now.
And we are recording.
Nice.
Rassie's in your head. He's in your head. Razzie.
Let's get the bra going, boys.
Hello, friends. You're listening to the Friends of Rugby. We just finished a 6-hour rugby
Yeah, we did.
marathon of games. We rugbyed it up today.
Yeah. Did we enjoy it?
Yes, I was scared because Frank insisted and convinced me that it was a good idea to watch them not live, so we can, watch them at normal times.
The phone ban worked though.
I literally had anxiety all day about it because I was so worried.
What do you mean all day? Oh, when we were watching the games.
Yeah, because I didn't want to get them spoiled.
If you don't look at your phone, you can't spoil it.
But I wasn't worried about me.
Oh.
I was worried I can do that.
Yeah.
But I was worried that like any of you guys would look.
I didn't look at my phone once.
I know, I was super impressed.
Thank you.
Because we did watch a game together where we didn't watch it live and you knew the score.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, you actually knew the score the whole time. And it just ruined it.
Did I tell you the score?
No, you didn't tell me the score.
Oh, it
but
just ruins the vibe.
You told me that you knew who won.
Oh.
And then it ruined the whole vibe.
Oh, fair enough.
Because you knew, and then I was going off of what you were like.
Oh, my body language.
Yeah, and it ruined it. So that's why I was like
okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. That worked, I thought.
But any day I get to watch.
I would rather watch it live, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But getting up at like 3 a.m, 1 a.m. to watch these games.
I think, yeah. But
It just doesn't work. It doesn't work if you want to watch it with people.
No, I understand. Oh, I see what you're saying. So it's less about spoiling it. It's more about enjoying it with the people around you, not knowing the score.
It's more important to watch them with people that I enjoy watching rugby with.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I had a good time.
I did too.
Good.
It was all three matches were great.
Good games, close games.
Yeah. No blowouts.
I didn't lose interest at any point in any of those games.
No.
So
it kept your interest. There wasn't anything like where, okay, this game's done. Because we had the option to shut them off.
Yeah, we did.
Right? And there wasn't one game where we're like,
let's skip it. We know what's going to happen.
Let's skip it. Or, the score is too far gone.
Yeah.
Which says a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of narratives that are building around these games.
And obviously I am Welsh, so I'm always going to love watching Wales. But I think objectively that was the worst game. I'm always going to watch the full 80. But I even felt like you guys were enjoying watching it despite it being not the best quality rugby from either side. So. Oh,
yeah. Actually, that was probably like one of my favorite, like, I thought that was like the Wales-Australia game. I thought it was a pretty decent. I thought it was one of the better ones.
You think so?
Yeah. I just thought I thought these two teams,
everyone was evenly matched, wasn't it?
It felt very evenly matched.
Yeah, it did. I thought all teams felt that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. It did feel really evenly matched. Results didn't go the way I wanted in like either of the games. I guess.
No.
I was kind of like, I kind of needed, like Australia kind of needed this.
They did. That's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah. So, is there any other rugby news? Italy losing to Samoa.
Italy lost to Samoa. I don't really know what to make of that. I think it's sad because but from their Six Nations form, they really need to kick on. I'm on board now. I care now. So you've got to back it up a bit.
USA losing to Romania.
Yeah, I actually watched that game last night.
Now, I know that the MLR is still going. So the MLR is not over with yet. So I don't know if those guys were in that team.
There were some MLR players. There were plenty of MLR players. They had AJ McGinty at 10, who was actually pretty good. But he's Bristol Bears. Yeah, totally. The Prem's over with, so. What I'm saying is like it was not a bad USA team to put out. So, but they're probably spoiler, they lost.
Yes,
I know you knew that, but if anyone's listening, but yeah, they lost that. So it was close though. It was a close game.
Canada is playing Scotland as we speak. You want to bring that up?
I've got the.
Just Google it up.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
It's already like 90-0. It's like been 10 minutes.
I was going to have the live updates on for that as we're
I think probably
away.
Canada will give them a good go for the first like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
30 minutes. And then in the second half, we're going to see it probably blow up to like a 40-8 game.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, big old Scottish scoreline with maybe a consolation try for Canada at some point, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see Canada doing much.
So do you want to go straight into the big three, or is there anything else in the rugby world you want to talk about?
This is stop blue balling me. I'm ready to go.
Should we do like a whole
Fresh.
thing should we just do a Stuart Hogg session? The deep dive into Stuart Hogg's life. This is 80 minutes.
Speculating on his
happened?
private life.
What happened to Stuart Hogg? The fall.
Hit the sound effect.
I was trying to live my life.
Yeah, let's not talk about that at all.
Anything else you want to get into?
Any sort of rugby news?
Any kind of rugby news we haven't touched on? Is there anything, any kind of like big drama stuff? Everything's been said. We've talked about the narratives.
I think so. We were all primed for talking about the rugby games that have just happened. Let's just mention Japan beating the Maori All Blacks, though.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one. So Eddie Jones has got something to build on, I guess.
This is not even like Japan's official squad.
No, I guess not. It's a select, isn't it?
Yeah. And that Maori All Blacks team is stacked.
Yeah.
They got some rock stars on that. They got some Super Rugby rock stars on that.
Yeah, they do.
On that game. So that's a pretty decent big win.
That's a good win. And I'm also looking right now at Argentina, France, which is...
I think France won like 25 or 20.
Yeah.
28-13.
Yeah, that's right. So...
is that the score?
It is this, but this is not updated since a certain time in the game, which is weird.
Was it 28
I don't know what
to
the final
13?
score is. It's not fucking telling me. I'm Googling it as we speak. Here we go. We're going to look at a website which has... Yeah, final score. France 28, Argentina 13. So
See, this
let's
squad,
start there, shall we?
This squad was definitely not France's best squad. That wasn't their A squad.
Yeah.
Argentina put out probably their strongest squad.
Close to.
Yeah. So that's probably not a good look.
I think Argentina beating Wales in the World Cup in the quarter-final, was it? I thought... Yeah, we didn't deserve to win that game, but I thought I thought Argentina flattered to deceive a bit in the World Cup as well. So I wonder if they're on a bit of a downward trend since Checa left. Which
fucking Argentina pissed me off so much in the World Cup.
Yeah,
I hate them forever now.
Because they didn't. Because you went to the All Blacks Argentina semi.
Yeah, I bought this semi-final ticket
and
game.
they didn't fire a single shot.
And you're sitting in this, and I think that was the first one I went to.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh my god, this is gonna be a semi-final game, World Cup.
Yeah.
And then they just like don't even show up.
Impotent Argentina.
Yeah. So I just basically sat there, and it was raining and cold, and I'm just like, all I'm thinking about is how much money I wasted.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't care who wins, but I just wanted a game.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I wasn't even expecting Argentina to win.
No.
I was like, okay, they're probably not going to win this. But just to get like battered.
And they do tend to play well in World Cups. Mm-hmm. They've taken some big scalps. And I know it's New Zealand, but yeah, like you said, you want them to kind of fire a shot. They're very good at throwing the ball around and being creative historically.
At least make some spiciness to it. Yeah, so I sat there and I was just like,
yeah,
I wasted a lot of money coming to this game.
The trend continues, I'm afraid. Argentina are not looking so strong against the sort of development French side, so...
Oh, I don't even know what they have to do, Argentina. I think they're just kind of stuck in this perpetual state of they're going to be good sometimes and they're going to be bad a lot of times.
Yeah, without a professional team and a professional league, it's hard to be consistent, isn't it? So
yeah, but at the same time, you know how high they punch above their weight for what they have.
Still have my respect and my
probably
love.
The best rugby nation in the world.
They're still my second favorite team ever.
Yeah, like it's just... Yeah, for what they do, for what their system, their whole system, and what they accomplish.
Yeah,
like competing the All Blacks at home.
Yeah,
by basically having like a setup that's not very different than Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah, exactly.
Like, is
most stylish jersey as well.
Yeah, they always have like a really sexy.
Oh, their
jersey.
new one as well. I like it a lot.
Look at
I like it a lot. It's basically the same but slightly different. It's just that's nice.
Okay, you know what we have? There is one more thing before we get into these games. We got to talk about these new, like the rugby collar situation on these jerseys.
Yeah, it's like someone's playing a practical joke on the teams. Like the designer's like, should we just put an extra inch on it for a laugh? And like, yeah, fuck it.
It's like, okay, can you make this collar on this jersey look like a neck brace?
It might be my least favorite All Blacks jersey. Look like businessmen
Even
from the 90s.
The Welsh one too. It's like this big fucking comedic like looking.
Yeah, and it flares out, so it looks a bit like 1950s dress clothing. Yeah, don't like it.
It looks like those shirts that those like lawyers would wear in like the 1800s.
Yeah, it's a bit frilly, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, now there's some freaky jersey. Yeah, that is a big collar on the All Blacks one.
Yeah,
that is hideous.
Mm-hmm.
So the collars started to come back, and the traditionalists were like, "Yes, we love collars," and now they've gone too far again.
It's too much.
We're going back to football jerseys now again, boys. This is what's going to happen. We're going to go back to 0 collars now. You've ruined it.
Yeah. They've gone too far, and now they're going to take the collars away.
Yeah,
and now we're not going to have any because I like a jersey with a nice collar.
I know you do,
and I have a few jerseys that have some collars on them.
Yeah,
and they're nice. Yeah, I really enjoy them. I think it looks sharp.
Well, too late now because you've never seen a collar again after this cycle.
Yeah.
They're going to put them back in the box for 20 years.
I wanted almost a turtleneck, but not a turtleneck. Like, they might as well have went out there in turtleneck.
Do you know what looks even worse? The All Blacks away.
Oh, my God.
The inverted colours, and it's just the white jersey with the black collar. Looks horrific.
Like, it looks like some kind of, like, armor that an anime character would wear. It's so huge.
Yeah, it's horrific, isn't it? So won't be buying that.
Yeah, it's just sad times with those collars. I was like,
a bad day for jerseys and the Northern Hemisphere.
You know, this jersey that you're wearing right now, this Welsh jersey right here,
it's one of my favorites.
It's that's a mighty sexy jersey.
This is the away black with the red trim Subaru jersey.
Yeah, it is. That's a nice jersey.
And it's the game jersey. So when I'm feeling slimmer, it hugs me nicely, shows me off in the right ways, you know?
We were just talking about how we can't ever find game jerseys.
I don't think they do them anymore. They don't want to make money, do they?
Rugby hates like giving the fans what they want.
Yeah, I know.
Like World Rugby is just like rugby in general, like how can we just make this we just want to give the fans just enough.
Yeah.
Like why can't I find a fucking game jersey anywhere? They should be fucking just like shelves lined up and I should just be buying them.
And people would buy them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
every time I'm in every time I have a chance to go into a rugby store, I'm going to spend some money.
Yeah.
And if I see, I'm not going to think about how much I'm spending. I don't care if the jersey's like $300. I'm fucking buying it, right?
Yeah.
But no, I can't. I don't even have the chance to waste my money.
I would buy any country if their jersey was nice.
Yeah.
Except England. Yeah,
and I just can't. Yeah, I can't. I do have a game. I have a Canada game jersey. I got on sale.
I do as well. I've got the DHL white one from a few years ago.
Did you buy it at the Ellerslie?
No, I bought it in United Cycle. Name drop.
United Cycle.
Yeah,
officially sponsored.
I think that's legally binding if you say that. You shouldn't say that.
Okay, so let's get into New Zealand, England.
Okay. That was the first game we watched today.
That was the first game. That was the first game.
Yeah, chronologically.
Order. What's your takeaways? How do you feel?
Initial thoughts. I think England will feel like that was a game that got away, that they could have won, and I think that is their only chance to win. Because I think it looks like New Zealand are going to get better based on what I saw. Like they're starting to put some things together. It's not quite working, but I think it will. I can see what they're trying to do. I think Marcus Smith missing those kicks is a really big problem, not just for him, but for England, because he's okay. He missed a few tackles and missing those kicks as well. And you got Finn Smith breathing down your neck, and England need to figure out who their starting 10 is. That's a bad day for Marcus Smith, and it's a bad day for England not beating New Zealand at home. That was a single point game, you know. So a lot of teams go to New Zealand. Almost every team goes to New Zealand and is grateful not to get hammered. So for them to take it close, I think a lot of England fans will be thinking, we did really well, gutted not to win. I'm glad we didn't get hammered. There's hope for the future, but that's one that got away for them.
You're so fucking PC.
All right.
Let's get it. Come on, I want you to say how. Like
that's how I really fucking feel.
No, you're being fucking PC and shit.
All right.
They put their hearts on the line and
everyone
they just didn't get there.
Time and everyone's
let's talk about fucking really.
All right, you want some real shit? Marcus Smith had a shit game, and I think he's not going to play the next one now.
Oh,
and I think that's going to ruin England's plan because he sparks him in attack. You know. And without him, it's like, you want to go back to George Ford? Do you guys want to go back to George Ford? Because we'll go back to George Ford.
Let's talk about the scariness of Joe Marler just getting fucking taken off.
Yeah. And
the scrum was getting pumped.
that other kid, Baxter, who has the face of an actual infant, actually did
He
well.
looks like a large baby.
He did all
He
right.
looks like he's from like a commercial.
Yeah, don't fight that baby. He'll scrum you.
Like you fucking made him out of AI.
Yeah. He had one of those like child filters on a picture.
Outside the scrum, I thought the forward pack did really well.
Itoje's back, baby.
Itoje
He's so back. Yeah, making a nuisance of himself. Like, yeah, I thought Itoje had a hell of a game.
I thought that fucking Artisivea like saved the fucking All Blacks a bunch of times.
Yeah, he always does, doesn't he? Yeah.
He is fucking unreal player.
Yeah.
I felt like this game, like the All Blacks survived.
You think so? No, yeah.
I thought the All Blacks survived, and I thought that the.
Do you want to talk about refs?
Oh yes, I do, because
Okay.
I thought this was the game changer for England. I think I if you're gonna feel sorry for a team this weekend, I think England is the team.
Yeah.
As much as you and I are not fans of England, I would say they are
Bit hard done by.
Really? Like that one, like especially when there was that one call where Scott Barrett just goes in from the side of the ruck.
Yeah.
Dives
Cool.
in.
He kind of army rolled into it sideways.
Yeah, into it sideways.
Yeah.
Now he's on the ground and he grabs the ball on the ground with his hands and tosses it out, and he gets rewarded with it.
It was against England.
I think that leads to like them like scoring a try, or they also eventually get a penalty.
Not much later, yeah.
Off that. Like just put like that was just like there was just calls like that all over the park of just like blatant. Like
there was a knock on that was pretty fucking atrocious that was missed.
Is that where
Kiwi 9 basically basketball bounced off the ground?
What's his name?
Nothing was said.
What's his name? I got
The redhead.
Yeah, Roygar. I forget what his name is. No, it's
I think everyone's called Finley now, so I think he might be called Finley.
Is it Finley?
I don't know.
Because that's the one where he was like dribbling
names,
it like a fucking.
Yeah,
Finley Christie.
Yeah,
and fuck yeah, and they're just like everyone's just like, what?
Yeah, what?
What's going on? Like, okay, don't worry, guys. Like,
Yeah.
there was a lot of calls that went for the All Blacks, and it really helped them out. And I felt bad for England.
Yeah.
Because I thought they started off a little bit shaky, but then they kind of just got in the game, and you could tell like England were like the stronger team.
Yeah, they defended really well. I thought, but New Zealand did
Defense on both sides was really
very good. I
Yeah.
thought, is it Mark Talea? Like, he's untackleable sometimes. Like, he's a fucking pinball bouncing off people. But, New Zealand, the New Zealand of old score 4 or 5 tries a game, right? So to keep them to that score is pretty impressive. But to keep them to that score and not win is what I'd be gutted about, right? If you can keep New Zealand low, you should win.
I felt like they didn't have. I felt like England had the. Like, All Blacks had the better of the attack because they're just naturally more creative.
Yeah.
And they attack. And their attack, like there was like times when they just, the ball got into their hands and boom, 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 boom. It's out to the wing.
Yeah.
And they're getting in there. England did a good job defending.
They did.
So their defense was like, and then their rush defense was really fucking around with All Blacks because both teams would make all this progress just to cough it up.
Yeah.
And that happened over and over and over again.
Honestly,
it almost got a little
all
frustrating.
3 games, there was a lot of building up phases and then messing it up just when you're in the position to score. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of blue balling going on today.
And I think that has to do with a lot of the pressure that the defenses are really good.
Yeah.
For the teams. And yeah, just like a lot of like I think the worst part about this I think the All Blacks have a lot more to worry about.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I definitely do.
Really?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of talent on that board, and I think that England, they're not that. They're a really hot and cold team.
I think they're coming. I think they're upward trending right now.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I do think New Zealand will win next week, but I think England look pretty good today, and I think they've started to piece it together.
I don't think they're going to win next week.
You don't think New Zealand are going to win next week?
No, I don't think they're going to win next
Holy
week
moly.
unless they get the calls like they did this time. Because I didn't think they should have won today. I think a lot of calls went on their side.
No, that's a hot take.
That should have been.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. Because you're going to be like, well, they played rugby and they had fun. So
we must respect the refs at all times.
There was a big discrepancy. The England were on the bad side of a lot of calls.
I don't like to put it in these terms.
I don't think it was their, and a lot of those calls weren't their fault. see, there'll be a difference too. Like Ireland were on the wrong side of a lot of calls, but they
made those mistakes.
They
in the
made
first
those
place.
mistakes. They put themselves in those situations.
Like James Lowe trying to keep it in.
When I thought England really had the, just bad luck with the refereeing.
Right.
So you're going to see a difference there. But otherwise, I thought England, this was a game for them to take. And they're going to be, I think they're one of those teams too, when they play, like, they get better. Too, when they, especially playing a game.
They're a momentum team.
They're a momentum team, and they're going into the next game being like, we should have won this first game, guys. And they're a bunch of tough cunts. And they're going to go in there, and they're going to be, I think they might pull like a 2019 bullshit.
Oh, no.
Because they're going to be angry.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
England are back.
Because Scott Robertson had like all the opportunity. I thought their forward pack was better.
Yeah.
In this game.
Well,
the
the scrum was got a bit minced by the All Blacks at the start.
Yeah,
though.
they got minced.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the All Blacks forward pack was better.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
And they were mincing the England. They had a lot of opportunities. They just couldn't get past that defense.
Yeah.
I think both teams scored 3 tries. The good things about... Yeah, that's all I had to think.
But yeah.
Was it just 2 tries each?
Yeah, 16-15.
Who did Artie Sevilla and then Severie scored for them. Okay, yeah. England legend Faye Waboso and Maro Toji. Or Maro, yeah. So this is... Yeah, I would be kind of... I'd be scared if I was an All Blacks, and I bet you there's a bunch of anything in the media in New Zealand right now. They're pissed. They're not happy about this win.
No.
They're like, this should have been like a more.
But there's no basis for it, is what I'm saying, right? Like, yeah, they'll be pissed off. They expect a high standard, but we're seeing like a brand new All Blacks team, not brand new.
Because what does it say?
Brand new coach, brand new coaching staff. They want to come out with a bang. New coaches usually rejuvenate a team. There's enough talent in that Kiwi team to win most games.
Well, this wasn't a very different team.
I guess, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
I mean, yeah, they're definitely missing a few guys. Like, missing Perenara had a decent game, but I thought Aaron Smith is, for me.
Oh, I didn't even check out how he's doing.
Yeah,
he got taken out.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I wonder how significant that is, because
rough day for
was sad for Perenara. Like, he made a big comeback to be on that team,
and then he looked pretty badly injured, didn't he?
Yeah,
yeah. But he came back on after limping off. So
yeah, but then he eventually had to
he had to leave eventually. Anyway, I want to say as well, I don't like to put it in these terms, but if Marcus Smith makes his kicks, that scoreline isn't close. I think he missed 3 kicks, so
yeah,
that's 9 extra points. That Damien McKenzie missed a couple as well, and missed one because he was fannying around with his evil grins at the posts.
That was so good.
Yeah.
And he's like had the smile, and I was like,
"Fuck you, England." No, you don't.
Did it feel like it was?
It felt really short.
Yeah,
he'd only started to do his cheeky evil grin, and then the ref fucking whistled him. So I don't know if they reduced the shot clock in one game and not the other. But
it was kind of fitting too, because they've won a game over the Wallabies a long time ago for Bledisloe decider, where I think it was, I forget who it was. Who's like a Bernard Foley? I forget who was had
Australia,
the ball. And they were fucking around, not taking the kick.
Yeah,
and they got called, and then All Blacks got a scrum, and they won.
Yeah,
that was only a few years ago.
But All Blacks did still win today as well, though, despite it all.
Yeah, but I thought it was a survival match, and I don't think Kiwi fans are going to be very happy with that performance.
No, but they got to win, grind out a win, game management, etc. Still won it.
Yeah, concerning thing to take away this game too with England, their props.
It's weird, isn't it?
They were getting minced.
Yeah,
I just don't like why is Will Stewart I don't know. There's other players I thought they're like, oh, this is the best we can come up with. Is it?
Yeah. You have 10 professional teams in the Premiership. Find good props.
This is the best you got?
Yeah, and Dan Coles and Joe Marler aren't spring chickens. Find some young blood.
Is Abano in this squad?
No, I think because he got a red in the Bath game, he might have a suspension.
Oh, that's right. Joe Hayes Joe Hayes plays Exeter.
And I think, is it Bevan Rod? He's not his old cracked. I don't think he's playing as well as people want him to. So I don't think their prop situation is as good as people would like it to be. But yeah, I think England will win next. No, I think New Zealand will win next week though, because I think that was a really good chance to beat New Zealand and they fluffed it. Because
I'm already looking at comments from Kiwi fans online. They're not happy about this game.
Yeah, and I like that they've got high standards though.
What does it say before we stop talking about this game? What does it say in a nutshell if England win this next game? If they come out and they win this game, what does it say about the All Blacks?
What did it say? But yeah, it says they're not as good as they used to be. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Because for them to basically, in my eyes, survive this game.
Yeah.
And then if they go on to lose, it does say a lot about them. Like, well, was Ian Foster really that bad? Or is the whole system, Scott Robertson couldn't save them? So
they're missing those South Africans, aren't they, in Super Rugby? The quality of Super Rugby in terms of the opposition they play is going down. There's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. So,
which is good for us because now you have competitive games on these tours. But
I don't want New Zealand to be bad because they're playing shit teams. Although that's making excuses for them, they still scrape by England. Yeah, there's a lot of conflicting stories going on here. I think, yeah, you're right. New Zealand would be a bit upset they didn't win that more. We haven't seen a good old-fashioned New Zealand shit kicking another team in a while, though. You know, sometimes someone really good.
I think they shit kicked Argentina.
Yeah, but someone really good. You know, like someone like an Ireland or a New Zealand or an England or France will rock up for a little tour. And there'll maybe a 3-game or a 2-game series. And one of those games, New Zealand will just shit kick the team. Like it'll be like 40 points. I haven't seen them running tries around the park.
They shit kicked Ireland in the first of the 3 tests.
They do, but that's like a couple of years. It's basically since then that they haven't like absolutely shit kicked quality opposition. Because in the World Cup, the games against quality opposition were close games, right?
And 2
of them are losses.
Now that these players are playing against now that the Kiwi players are consistently playing against weaker competition, and how competitive they were, like how competitive they still are against in the world stage, how they just they could have won that game, even though I thought England had it the tougher on the calls and stuff like that. New Zealand still won that game.
They did.
New Zealand still did enough to win that game.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's what I'm saying.
That's it didn't look like it's not the All Blacks leaving hasn't hurt them too much.
Not yet. Maybe it's a slow decline.
Yeah.
Scott Robertson looked a wee bit nervous in his box as well.
Oh, yeah. He's got a lot to live up to. He's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
He's always so cool and collected.
He's going to have more leeway because he's the chosen one.
Yeah.
Right? So the fans are going to be more lenient.
It does feel like they like him more than Ian Foster already. Even before he played a game, they were like, thank God Scott Robertson's here. And obviously he has a good track record. But I felt like with Ian Foster, they didn't like him from the get-go.
Yeah, because Ian Foster
he was the safe pair of hands, wasn't he?
He was the scapegoat. He was the target.
Yeah.
And then once you become that kind of target in the public eye,
you don't shake it, do you?
You don't shake it. They're just going to come after you no matter what the fuck happens.
Even if Sam Cane gets a red card, it's still Ian Foster's fault.
He almost won a World Cup. And they probably still... He almost won a World Cup. And right now, Scott Robertson can have a worse record than him this year, and then they'll still make excuses well, Scott, he's just doing this, give him time, blah, blah, blah. The reaction is different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I felt about this game.
I've got I don't really have one single point about it. I've got a lot of conflicting messages going on, but I enjoyed watching it. I think New Zealand will win next week. I think Marcus Smith is the reason they didn't win that game because of his kicks.
I think next week England will win this game.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I think they're going to come out. They're going to... I saw too much in that game of them messing it up and still rocking it in the game and just basically kind of stopping anything that the All Blacks were throwing at them.
That is true.
They didn't look overwhelmed.
No.
At all. And if anything, I felt the All Blacks got a little more frustrated. England, they coughed up the ball a lot more. But I saw enough to see a team there that is probably going to win the next one.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm pretty shit at calling games, I've realized. So as much as I'm saying New Zealand
we are too. I'm just anything's going to happen.
I've written off Glasgow about 150 times in games that they've won.
Yeah, and they're the best rugby club in the world.
So yeah, I'm not going to deny it right now.
I'm not going to knock them down anymore. Wales, Australia. Let's go, Frank.
Okay, so
I don't want you to be fucking hunky dory with this one. Okay,
everyone had a lovely time.
I want raw
feeling.
Yeah,
I'm out of fucking emotion for Wales. That's the truth, right? I'm just sat here hibernating my emotions because you've seen me sweating, screaming, shouting when Wales are playing.
Feed me a hate.
But how was I today watching that game? How did I seem?
Very neutral.
Very neutral, right?
Very calm.
It's taken something from me. All these
even though this game was kind of it had a lot of test
edge of your
match.
seat stuff.
Yeah.
There were some moments in it, but I don't know this team. It feels like my dog has died, and I've got this new puppy, and I'm trying to love this new puppy, and it's just not. I'm not connected with it yet.
Do you think Gatlin made a mistake with the whole Ben Thomas?
I thought Ben Thomas was not bad, but the weird thing was, it's like
that tempo changed
when Costello came on in the last 10. I was like, holy fuck, we can play rugby, and it was Costello doing that, and Nick Tompkins did some good stuff as well. So I wonder if he deliberately lost that game to Australia to make Sam Costello feel bad about not playing as good as he can.
Right.
And then next week is he going to put Ben Thomas at 12? Because Mason Grady, I really want Mason Grady to be a centre, but he's not. I'm not sure he's a 12 or a 13. So it was a weird one. There were times when I thought,
because Costello only played like fucking 8 minutes of this game.
But he played a solid 8 minutes.
And
he was whizzing about.
Yeah, he was whizzing. It was like...
Yeah, it's a little bit too fucking late at that point, isn't it?
I thought the forward pack everyone was kind of worried about played pretty decently.
I don't know, though. Our scrum was getting a bit minced.
The scrum was getting a little minced, but I think...
They're playing against a good Australian front row.
In the open... the scrum, there was a big difference between... I thought the Southern Hemisphere, all down the board...
Their scrums are better today.
Their scrums were better.
Yeah. Maybe South Africa weren't as good as Ireland at the start of the game, but they definitely finished stronger in their scrum.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but I thought in open play and stuff like that, I thought all the forward packs from each team kind of stepped up.
I thought both teams secured their ball very well. Honestly, it was pretty evenly matched. The Australian try... Oh, I literally tried to just remember his name. I do apologise to anyone who's listening.
The Australian who?
The Australian 13 who scored that really nice try. That was kind of felt like...
Filippo Dunn. No, what was it?
Is Hunt... No. Josh Fluck? No. I feel terrible now. I literally had it out in front of me and I was like, I'm going to remember this.
Which try was it?
It was the Australian try.
There was like...
the one where they threw it through the hands and he just minced our centres and Nick Tompkins was like grasping at air. And anyways, nice try. I'm going to sit here feeling like a twat because I can't remember the poor guy's name, but he was really, really good. And that was kind of the difference for me. Like it's like both teams were making mistakes. Both teams were knocking it on. Both teams are making bad decisions a lot of times. And then Australia just at one point did some Australian slick backline thing, which they're pretty good at historically. And that was the difference. That was a convincing attacking move, which we were not able to conjure. Under Gatland, we look fucking toothless. And we've looked toothless for a long time.
In attack? Yeah, because I thought defense on both sides were pretty decent.
We held them up on our try line well, like 2 or 3 times, and I thought Australian defense was reasonable. But
they did leak some stuff. There was some leakage.
Yeah. I was a bit salty about that disallowed maul try. I was like, I couldn't see an obstruction, but obviously someone saw an obstruction. And that was like when we were starting to get a bit of momentum. And then we lost it because they disallowed our try. What else do I think about that game? I think from a neutral point of view, I want Australia to be a good rugby team. And I hope this gives them a bit of impetus and spark. Joe Schmidt's hopefully doing the right things. They won a game. That means the Lions tour is going to be decent. The World Cup's going to be decent. Hopefully this revives Australian rugby, right? Wales, we can take a shit kicking. This is a part of our ingrained culture. We can be a shit rugby team for 10 years. Rugby will take a bit of a twatting, but it's not going anywhere, In Australia, if rugby union dies, it's not coming back.
No, there's no coming back from that.
This is maybe a good thing for the game, but from a Welsh perspective, I'm thinking, where is our attack? Gatlin made some a bit weird calls. Who's that new guy? Anne Hathaway's brother? Josh Hathaway?
Mm-hmm.
Shocker.
Hathaway's brother?
Shocker. And
you thought he had a shocking game?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there was one, he was sort of try line in front of him with a defender, he just runs straight into touch. He had a really shite kick early on, straight into touch as well. And he's supposed to be Lewis Rees-Zammit's wonder kid replacement. I didn't see it today, Rio Dyer was a bit anonymous. Our backs were anonymous because we were playing. We didn't have a lot of good possession,
I thought this is a game too. There were some fucking shady calls against Wales.
Yeah, I thought so. I didn't want to go on about it, but yeah.
I know you don't want to talk about it because you're all PC.
Yeah, I'm PC now.
You're woke.
I'm too woke.
You're rugby woke. But I'm gonna there were some bad fucking calls.
Yeah.
That try, that maul try being disallowed was kind of fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Obstruction from where?
Yeah, I know.
I thought, it was a shitty call.
And that was our momentum killer as well.
It
didn't just kill the try. It was like, we're starting to play well now. And that you could see it took the wind right out of our sails. We'd thrown everything at them and it would have paid off. And then it didn't. It's like, well, fuck that. Then we can't score.
There was like some CSI shit going on with that.
Yeah.
With that call, I thought that was just that kind of stuff. Kind of like ruins the game because there was just not needed.
No,
there was just like not like you're really pulling at straws there.
And you get speculative about this kind of thing, and you think like if you analyzed every single ruck and every single maul, I can find mistakes and infringements on both sides.
But there
every
were some
single
blatant
time.
there were some blatant things that were just not looked at or not called or called.
Yeah,
and then there was things that they just like. There was I thought these two first games were. There were some shitty calls. Not so much. I thought the All Blacks one was worse. Was really bad. I thought that ref lost control of the game.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of calls against Wales in this one, and I thought that I think it's okay for Welsh people to be upset at these calls. Like you're allowed to be upset at these calls.
I think the thing is though, if I'm speaking for my people, we're just like I don't think we quite deserved to win that game either. I think Australia. I think that try they had was the difference.
Yes, 100% agree with you.
So I'm not going to complain about the ref because we made a lot of our own fucking mistakes.
But it could have changed. But they weren't bad enough to be.
They were pretty evenly matched, to be honest.
They were pretty evenly matched, and they weren't bad enough to for that. I won't say
it wasn't a deciding factor.
It wasn't a deciding factor.
Right?
Yes, it was.
Tom Wright is the guy.
I agree with you on that. It wasn't a deciding factor. It was a shitty call.
Yeah.
It killed the momentum. It could have changed the game. Could have, maybe, should have.
Yeah,
but
you can't should have, would have, could have. If you drop
Australia
things.
legit, they won this game.
Yeah.
I thought that Wales were.
We weren't terrible,
I thought they were going to win this game. I thought they were going to win this game because I thought that the cohesion and the consistency with the players was going to be a factor. And then as the game was going on, I thought I was going to be right.
Yeah.
I was like, I called this one really good because I'm pretty sure. I felt throughout the game that Wales had this.
Honestly, that disallowed try, when it had been on the board and we had those points, I thought, this is it now. Now it's starting to swing in our favor and we're going to win this game.
Because I didn't think they were behind.
No,
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked the game, and
I think I want to say a couple things about Archie Griffin as well. Gareth Thomas got a bit minced. He's playing Tupou, fair enough. But Archie Griffin, he was a good scrummager. Aaron Wainwright still fucking carrying the weight of the fucking country on his shoulders.
The lock pairing two today.
Yeah.
David Jenkins and
Chris Chunza. Yeah, they both put in fucking shifts. So like I said, there's a lot to be proud of. I think we need to make a bit more meters when we carry, but defensively we're still rock solid. Yeah.
What do you think about Locio? How do you say his name? Lolosio? The 10 for Wallabies?
I think it was all right. Yeah, I thought he had some nice crossfield kicks as well.
That was what I thought. What he brought to the game was what the Wallabies were missing at the World Cup.
Yeah, it was old school Australia. And it was creativity.
I thought he looked confident.
Yeah, he did.
I thought he looked confident out there, and I was like, man, it's good to see him come back.
Yeah.
And play a good game.
Yeah.
I think the aura that they looked a lot more. There was a lot more confidence on the field of the Wallabies.
I was surprised by that because the stadium's not quite full. Australia are team down on their luck, but all those kids look motivated and cohesive despite some mistakes in the field. So Joe Schmidt's doing something right.
And Tupou has been in the media a lot for not being 100% on form. And I think there were some people even questioning him being in the team.
Yeah.
And he proved a lot of people wrong too.
Yeah.
Fuck, he is a powerful player.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I don't want to discredit Gareth Thomas too much, but because Tupou is a fucking good scrummager, right? When he wants to play well, he can. So I'm not too disappointed with that. Valentini was class. All you hear from the Australia, Valentini, every 2 seconds he's doing something. Valentini's up to something.
Yeah, he's a godsend for the Wallabies. They're lucky to have a player like him. He's quality all across the field.
It reminds me a bit of Savea. He's just always doing something. He's always bringing his team onto the fucking right part of the field and just fucking monstering someone in a
big fucking sideshow bob hair. Just going around the field. I really have time for him. I really like him on the field. I think Joe Schmidt should be happy. They got a win.
Yeah.
They got revenge against Wales.
Yeah. We're both so desperate for a little tiny drip of confidence. I'm jealous Australia got that today. I'm jealous Australia got the inertia needed to become a good team again. We're just waiting for a table scrap of confidence here to become a good team again.
Man, but Joe Schmidt, to be honest though, every time the camera looked at him, he did not look like he was having a good time.
No, he didn't.
No.
He was sweating bullets, wasn't he?
He was fucking sweating
Yeah.
bullets. He looked fucking stressed as shit.
Yeah.
There was video of him just like fucking yelling at the team.
Yeah. And when he was island coach, he was always pretty calm, wasn't he?
Yeah, just like this really calculated
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in this one he looked fucking
Yeah.
he looked like how Biden looked in the debate. Like he just looked like he aged
Yeah.
like 100 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he was just like in shock. He was
Yeah.
like oh,
Screaming
fuck,
at
he
the
doesn't-
water boy like.
He doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think
contrast that to Gatland, who is. I remember Gatland back in the day. He was confident, he's bullish, he's stubborn, all in the right ways. And now all those same traits are starting to look like bad habits. You know, in the media, he's prickly, he's a bit of a dickhead. He's too stubborn. He's making these weird selection calls and not really giving enough explanation. We had that whole Sam Parry thing. The Ospreys hooker left the camp, and not much was said about it. So I'm wondering if there's a bit of a morale issue going on, which is the last thing you need when you've got young players who need confidence and they're having their tires pumped up, you know?
Yeah, I didn't want to get into this conversation about him until like after the series.
No, if I'm being spicy, you can be fucking spicy.
Yeah, because I wanted to wait to see like how it went.
Yeah.
But I would like to see a change in the Welsh
Ooh.
coaching setup.
Who else would you have, though?
I think there's a lot of guys. I think there's a lot of guys out there
Yeah.
that could. There's what's his name? Kingsley Jones. You guys can take him
No,
back.
I'm in Kingsley fucking Jones.
Can you please just take him back?
I mean, he's still in Wales. He's still hanging around.
Yeah. Oh, he's in Ottawa.
Yeah,
But
I'd like Dave Rennie. I think you said that would be a good
Dave
choice.
Rennie would be really
I would love
good.
a Dave Rennie because he was going to get it over Pivac at one point.
I think Dave Rennie would be sick to have him over there.
Yeah.
Who's
You
with
said Stuart Lancaster earlier, and I thought I'm not having a primary school teacher in charge of Wales. Like
Stuart? I was just being a dick with that
okay.
because I also said Stuart Barnes.
Oh yeah.
But
I knew that was a joke.
Who's the guy with the Highlanders now?
Jamie Joseph? No.
Jamie Joseph. I don't know why I keep forgetting his fucking name. I could never remember.
Yeah,
Jamie
you always
Joseph.
forget that.
And I love him. I watch
Yeah.
his like coaching stuff all the time.
Yeah, me
and
too. I
stuff.
watch his YouTube videos.
Yeah,
He's good.
and he's great. And
Yeah.
I think he would be great
I
in
think
there.
he'd be good.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys. But
We just need someone who's got a bit more, like they're confident, they're a bit arrogant, but they're not like too nice either. You know?
I wonder even like a Michael Checa.
Oh, Michael Jack could be perfect. But we both know he's trying to worm his way into the England camp via Leicester right now.
Who's like the hot coach in Wales right now?
Toby Booth for the Ospreys. Big time for Toby Booth.
And he's like the inspiration guy, isn't he? Like,
He
these players
loves
love him.
yeah, they would run through brick walls for him. And he's got like this, you know, we just find a way to win. And they do, right? Like in a lot of those games, they just find a way to win. And he's put a lot of faith in young guys. A lot of Welsh people are pissed off because Gatland is not picking the Ospreys, the most successful region in Wales by some fucking margin. And we've got like Morgan Morris, Morgan Morse. We've got a lot of good Ospreys players who aren't being picked for Wales. And he's picking a lot of these Cardiff guys. And I like these Cardiff guys. I'm a Cardiff fan. But I'm also thinking, like, why are you not picking from the most successful region? That doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah, like what is he?
So that's what I'm saying about Gatland. Something's going a bit wrong. He's going a bit sort of...
Yeah, I think
He's going a bit
I think
weird.
that's what he's been in the job too long.
Yeah.
I think he's taken the team for as far as they've gone.
He's going a bit myopic. But that's a problem. Like, it's a brand new team. Like, I don't think...
I think he's just not good with the situation that he has. Like, I think when he came into Wales, he had good players,
You did.
right? And he had a core group of players for a long time. And then since that core has kind of, moved on, left, retired, and now he has to build a team, I don't think he's a team builder. He's really struggling with this whole team building thing. And like, he didn't walk into like a cohesive, like a core set, right?
The big difference is when he built his 2011 World Cup team and all the guys he brought in and capped, people like Sam Warburton, George North, Faletau, Lydiate, these were once-in-a-generation talent for Wales. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to do the same thing now. But let's be realistic. It's not like for like. A lot of these new guys, there's potential. We could be good. But they're not doing exactly what he wants when he wants it. And it's sad because I think he's sort of playing with their emotions a bit. Like not having Costello start at 10. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, I know you put faith in him, but you've got to keep faith in him now. You've played him when he shouldn't have played him. But now you have to stick with him.
There was a difference when he came on. There was a difference.
And Ben Thomas wasn't bad, but like he added pace and excitement to the attack. You know, so something's just not right. He's not doing things the way he used to. He used to make some weird calls, but you go, oh, that's what he's doing, and it worked. And now it's like he makes weird calls and go, that didn't fucking work at all. Like, what are you up to? you know? And the problem is he seems to take it out on the players through his selection and his comments about them. I remember Rhys Carré, who I loved at Cardiff, and he wasn't fit enough to play for Wales, and Gatland just outed him publicly. He could have just said, didn't pick him, whatever, and he's like, no, he's not fit enough, he can fuck off, you know? And then the Sam Parry leaves, and yeah, like, we talked about this. If I'm Sam Parry and someone says you can be in the Wales camp, I'll hold fucking tackle bags for you. You should be proud just to be in that camp, right?
Yeah.
But it does say something about the morale if someone's going, fuck this, I'm out. You know?
Yeah.
That's never happened before.
That
so
was
I
a
can
big culture, like what's going on there in the culture of the team. If he is, like, if a player like that is just going to like leave.
Yeah.
It is, in my personal view of that Sam Parry situation, I thought Sam Parry was in the wrong there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have some pride, bud.
Yeah.
But, like, it does question,
This
like, what's, like, why is
like
there such a lack
symptom of a
pride?
wider cause that it's hinting at, right?
Yeah.
So that's
because, like,
my,
I said earlier too, like when Manny Leblanc, I think it was, didn't get picked to play in the World Cup final.
Yeah.
And they asked him how he felt about that, and he's like, "Whatever is best for the team, I want."
Yeah.
So he didn't get like he was probably upset, but you know he wants what's best for the team. So if Rassie says, "I want you to like carry water during the final," he's like, "I'll carry the water the best anyone's ever carried the water."
Yeah.
You know, and with pride.
Yeah.
Right. Not leave the camp.
Yeah, we're losing pride in the jersey, and I hope it's not because of Gatland, but there's some things that make me think, is it?
I think there's a lot of promise though in this team still.
Me too. Like I said, I'm not super gutted. Like I think there's something there, and we always start slow to anything, a series, a Six Nations, or whatever. We always start slow. So can we beat Australia next week? Yeah, but we're gonna have to do something different, and we're gonna have to. I don't want to change the team too much, but we might have to change the team a wee bit.
The thing is, points for Wales are hard to come by, man. They just struggle to get past the try line.
Can't score fucking tries unless it's
like
from a maul now.
That attack just looks so bare bones.
It does, doesn't it?
Like they just like pass it into contact.
We're playing this 10-year-old game plan, you know?
Yeah, it
with
just
new
looks...
kids.
There's just no... I don't know who's the attack coach for Wales.
Alex King.
Because it looks fucking like it's ancient.
It does. He hasn't really impressed since he's been there, because since he's been attack coach, I've not thought our attack looks good.
I always thought that Wales were like a really lousy attacking team, though. You know, with their jam slam wins all the time. They're never really threatening on attack.
When we under Pivac, we scored a record number of tries in the Six
That was
Nations.
the kind of thing that, the defense kind of took a dive, but the offense kind of picked up.
We have scored Wales in the. We have the record for the most tries scored and the least tries scored whilst winning a Six Nations.
I wonder if Pivac was a premature.
No, he had to go.
You think so?
Yeah, lose to Georgia, you got to go. Simple as that. And that was back in the day when we had a lot of our good players.
I totally forgot about that loss. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, we had to go. And like when we lost to Australia at home the last time we played them, like we were beating them comfortably, and then they came back and stomped us, and it's like, you've got to go after that. I don't care how good. He gave us some real attacking creativity, but at the expense of team cohesion and defense. It's not acceptable.
They could have went to Scott Robertson.
I mean, it
They
used to
could have
be
went to him at one
that you
point.
weren't allowed to coach the All Blacks unless you'd done time in Wales.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you've gone out into the forest and come back with a wolf pelt, i.e. coached Wales, you weren't allowed to coach New Zealand. And they've forgotten that tradition in New Zealand, and I'm upset about it. So why didn't we get Scott Robertson?
Yeah.
We're the fucking proving ground. Come prove you can coach fucking shitty Wales, and then you can coach New Zealand.
Yeah.
Don't just ride on the back of this quality Crusaders team for fucking 9 seasons or whatever it was. Fuck that. Yeah.
All right. So I think we went on a lot about that game.
Yeah.
Let's go on to
the most enjoyable game of the weekend for me.
The spookiest game of the weekend.
The spookiest game.
It was very spooky.
It was spooky, yeah. But in terms of quality, that's what I mean.
You and I are going to be very different opinions on this one.
I think we already had a little argument about it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it again?
Oh, 100% I do.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right,
100% I want to get into this game.
All right.
I really think this is a game that fucking Ireland lost.
Yeah.
I really felt like Ireland lost this game. They made so many bad decisions.
Yeah.
And it was just all over the place. And didn't I say last about Conor Murray? I said he shouldn't have played fucking for Ireland ever again. Well, he did that fucking whatever the fuck. Remember he took the ball out of the breakdown and just kind of tossed it behind.
Basketball, threw it behind his head.
And then it just went to nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy has 114 caps. What the fuck is he doing?
Well, also scored a try though.
I don't give a fuck.
It was a bit of a gimme, but he still scored a try.
I don't give a fuck about that. It was just there was just all over the place, just bad decision making.
James Lowe had simultaneously the best and worst game of his life.
Yeah, that's true too. He put the team under a lot. I don't want to single them out.
Now, why not? No, fucking single them out. You had to go at me.
Okay, James I had some shocking fucking
Yeah, but you
things.
also played well simultaneously.
Like just to
though.
throw the ball back in the field without basically like looking who's there or anything. You just like toss
that was
it back in.
irresponsible.
Like why even do that?
Yeah.
Like what are you trying?
He's just given everything for the Ireland jersey, you know?
Yeah. It was
Too
just, like,
much.
Those 2 tries basically he handed to
He's a bit too eager to please, wasn't he?
he was.
You know? Because when it works for him. That first try, Keelan Doris off that like switch play right in the wing. James Lowe throws it to Craig
Yeah, because he
Casey,
does play. I guess he does play on the edge.
Yeah, he does. And like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right?
And
But 2 shocking mistakes. Knocked it on in his own try line, gave South Africa that final scrum where they fucking minced Ireland to get the penalty try and tried to throw it in from touch to give South
something
Africa
was
their
going
breakaway
on
try.
there because the scrum in this game was not like everyone thought that Ireland would get destroyed in the scrum. Something happened there with the whole setup. I don't think that was like.
Well, Ireland scrum started strong and then it got worse. Do you know what it is? It's BS. It's the bomb squad.
Yeah, but the bomb squad came on and then they didn't really make an impact at all. They didn't like come in like because I know in the World Cup they brought the bomb squad on and automatically just crushed Ireland's squad.
Well, they did in the last scrum of the game, though.
In the last scrum of the game, this is what I'm talking about. In the last scrum of the game, something happened there where like there was something funky going on because they were kind of like Ireland were complaining about something. They stood up. They were complaining about something, and they kind of got back into it real quick. And then they just got bulldozed over.
Yeah.
There was something going on.
Like an early bind or something.
Something was going on because they just got like all of a sudden they just had like Springboks had this super scrum out of nowhere because the scrum was pretty even throughout the whole game.
That's scrummaging, though. It's all you know it as well as anyone.
Yeah,
it's
there were some dark
tactics.
arts going on there.
Of course there were. There's always are. If you're not ready for dark arts, they'll do dark arts to you.
Yeah,
there was necromancy going on, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You think a scrum is an even competition of 2 men pushing against each other?
No.
You're watching the wrong fucking sport.
That's true.
Like, you know,
that is a good point. Yes, but yeah, this like something happened because they just blew. They fucking blew up the scrum in that last scrum, and I was just like, whoa.
We were sat there going, South Africa going to do something. They're going to eat up a few minutes somehow with the scrum. They're going to intentionally collapse it at first, right?
Yeah.
But the weird thing was in that final scrum, we thought South Africa would collapse it deliberately right from the off because it's not a penalty. It's just do it again. But the Irish hooker stood up, didn't he?
Yeah, because something
and
was
then Luke
funky.
Pearce goes, "You stood up. We'll do it again."
Yeah.
So and then Ireland were trying to go like, "Hey, he fucking touched my willy," and then all of a sudden South Africa straight back in there and fucking just bust through the middle, you know. So I probably
dark arts. There was dark. That was a pure
level 100 necromancy.
Whatever happened, like I'm not saying that there was like something missed by the ref or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that last scrum was dark arts masterclass.
I believe you. And
they were fucking around with something and they knew what they were doing the whole time.
Yeah.
And they just because that scrum, like the Irish scrum, imploded.
It did.
Like they just fell apart, and that was like the first time all game.
Yeah. But they didn't even take it down, did they? They tried to fight back, and it's like if you're getting pushed back that quickly in try line, just go down, right? Just fucking go down. But they didn't. They stayed in the scrum and got pushed backwards at a rate of fucking knots. So you're thinking like, why are they staying in there?
Because they stood up. They stood them up.
Yeah.
Right now, like they can't even push back.
Yeah.
They're stood up and they're getting pushed.
Yeah.
Right. And they're falling all over the place now and stuff. And that scrum's moving forward.
Yeah.
It was very smart.
Yeah.
Very technically.
And I think that's why we were arguing, because when you watched the England-Ireland game where England beat Ireland in the Six Nations, you said to me, Ireland lost that, England didn't win it. And you said the same thing today. You said Ireland lost it, South Africa didn't win it. Yeah. And I think that irks me because I don't like this idea that South Africa didn't play well or England didn't play well.
I don't think they were like a much better team.
But that implies Ireland can never lose unless they lose it. Do you know what I mean?
No, because I didn't say that.
A team can't play better than them. That's the implication.
I didn't say
for
that
me.
when the All Blacks beat Ireland.
No.
In the World Cup, I didn't say, Ireland lost that game.
No. I'm not saying it's a consistent thing.
I said that Ireland started to play rugby too late.
I think what I'm saying, it's not to you. It's just a general statement that I think the aura of Ireland isn't as strong as people believe, and I'll tell you why. Because they missed. What specifically I mean is they missed Jamison Parkinson today.
See, I didn't think they did.
I think they did. I
didn't think it made such a huge impact.
Yeah.
I thought they had all the tools to win this game, especially when you're watching the game. Like these two teams look evenly matched.
I thought they looked vastly different when they're getting the ball at the breakdown, like their game management.
Craig Casey was
fine. But the thing is, Jameson Gibson Park is world class. Craig Casey's very, very good. Don't get me wrong. But the way he controls the pace and the angle of attack and who he's choosing as his first up runner, things like that. And Ireland looked a bit predictable. They get the forward pod and they do the little tip pass straight away. They did it several times and it just became predictable, right?
But they were making grounds on that too.
And you know, a team like South Africa, a team like Ireland,
they're
their forwards
hard.
are strong and big. They're always going to make ground. But if it's predictable and you're in the middle of the field, you don't mind eating up a few yards.
My thing was fucking, what was the, I keep getting these guys mixed up. The Irish fullback there had a very shocking start to the game.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of knockouts from him that put them under pressure.
But Quagga Swift knocked it on twice immediately. So, you know, same problem, you know.
But there was just a lot of shitty decision making from Ireland on this to put them under unnecessary pressure that they didn't have to take if they just would have made better decisions.
And my point is, those good decisions come from people like Jamison Gibson Park. You know?
Okay.
And Hugo Keenan. They come from, so it's not, you know what I mean?
I think Hugo Keenan was more missed.
Is,
I think Hugo Keenan was a big factor missing in this game. Then because Osborne had a lot of big shoes to fill with that. I just think, there was just a lot of. But when I was watching these two teams play, I really didn't feel like Ireland were going to lose this game.
I did.
I was just like, okay,
I don't think they were ever ahead in the game.
I've seen them plenty of times play this game where they were going to, it looked shaky, but they're so calculated.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
And they tighten it up together, but they just could not bring anything together.
And I think you're so used to seeing that from Ireland. When they do lose, you blame it on their mistakes, not the opposition's successes. Ireland's second choice players.
Yeah, but the only try, Springboks only made one try. The rest came from pressure, from bad decision making from Ireland.
I mean, that makes it sound like you could have put a team of children out there who'd beat them because they're making silly mistakes.
No, that doesn't say that at all, because they would just walk right over them.
I think James Lowe throwing the ball back in and Kurtley Andresa popping up, and that's incredible skill. And that scrum at the end where they just fucking punch through. Yeah, it's dark arts, but that's quality.
Yeah,
right?
that is quality, and that makes them a good team.
Yeah,
right. But those situations happen because of bad decision making,
which you wouldn't get from their first 15, I don't think. But I think these
are from their first 15
What I'm
players.
saying is, you're so used to seeing such a well-oiled, well-drilled Ireland team that when that doesn't go their way, you forget the fact that they're playing a really good opposition who can force mistakes and make them do things like that, you know?
Yeah, but there was just things they didn't have to do.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like James Lowe should just let that ball go out. James Lowe should have let that other ball just go out, right? Those situations don't happen. Now Osborne, having knock-ons, dropping the ball. He was under a lot of pressure, and I thought where Hugo Keenan would have made a difference. That's fine, but there was just a lot of times that they were, they put themselves under the gun when they didn't have to.
I thought they looked tired.
Passing when they didn't need to pass.
Yeah, I thought they looked tired.
Maybe, but Springboks looked tired too.
They did, but I never thought Ireland were going to win that game. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought they were going to win that game. I thought this was the game. I was like, oh, they're going to win this game.
I didn't think
as the game went on. I thought I was getting even more comfortable because the scrum looked good. The scrum looked solid. They weren't getting bullied around the scrum. The lineup, they had a couple of shit lineups, but the lineup looked actually better.
It got better.
Yeah, it got better, and then
except right at the end. But
but there was some, I don't know, there were some kind of things that, like the tap and goes, I wasn't a big fan of.
I thought that was the right decision.
There were some points left on the board that they should have took.
Yeah.
When they should have took some kicks, just take the kick. Now there was 3 times where they walked away without getting points.
Yeah, but similarly, it was kind of like the England-New Zealand game. Neither kicker had a fantastic day, did they? Like Pollard missed 3, Crowley missed 2. And Crowley ran out of time with one of those as well. So it's like neither team was what we're used to seeing from either of those teams. They both look, South Africa look like they haven't played. Well, they played against Wales a couple of weeks ago, but they still look a bit rusty post-World Cup. Ireland look a bit tired post-World Cup.
I didn't think the Springboks looked rusty at all. They looked hard.
They did. They looked up for it.
And they were putting...
But what I mean is they didn't capitalize on a lot of their territory.
I think because Ireland's defense is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Ireland's defense is really good. But the box defense is
They're
really
both
good too.
quality defense.
So
yeah.
there was just a ton of pressure. There's a violent game.
It was a violent game. It was a highly skilled game, despite some knock-ons in the wrong areas.
I think
of the
what you're
field as well.
seeing is the two best teams in the world play each other.
Yeah, definitely. They kind of. What I'm saying is, when you say Ireland lost it, I'm saying those teams kind of cancel each other out a lot of the time. You know.
There was even some bad calls, some ref calls. I thought against Ireland.
Yeah,
but
there was.
I still think that these still were. I wasn't hurt by these ones.
It felt less conspiratorial, didn't it?
It did.
Like, it just felt like bad luck.
The whole James Lowe tossing the ball out and they're checking if the.
It's how the ref worded it.
I'm like,
isn't
this
it?
is 50-50.
And he made a dumb decision to do that anyway, didn't he?
Yeah,
So-
and he shouldn't have done it.
No.
If he wouldn't have done it, they wouldn't have that wouldn't have happened.
Let it go out, catch a breather, and try and defend, right?
Yeah, and then we
Yeah.
wouldn't have. They wouldn't have been down another try.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact that Ireland just came back and scored 2 tries.
That was impressive.
Right. It just showed how when they just came back, grabbed the ball, scored 2 tries right away. For me, that was showing it's decision making that's losing this game for them. That's where when I'm seeing the evidence of them coming in, powering over, they even had the yellow card.
Yeah.
Right. And to just come back, score, try. Right. It just showed to me this decision making is hurting them so much.
And I think that's what I'm getting at is we're not used to seeing an unclinical Ireland. We've got so used to seeing them being perfect decision makers. When they make this bad decision, then they look a bit rattled. It's like the other team aren't playing well; they're just losing.
It's almost like when Johnny Sexton was around, they were too scared to try anything crazy,
but it was
because they would get yelled at by Johnny Sexton.
That was the thing. I remember distinctly. There was a point in time where if Johnny Sexton had a bad game, Ireland would lose, right? And I don't think that's true anymore because he's not the linchpin. But that's why I think they missed Jameson Gibson Park. Because when they had chances to make the right decisions, to calm things down, to have on-field leaders, felt like they were missing that a wee bit today, you know?
Yeah, not having Gibson Park.
Hugo Keenan,
for me, personally, that was the factor. Not having him in there. But then again, having Osborne there to catch that low try from James Lowe being right there. I don't know if Hugo Keenan would have been there.
That was a nice try as well.
Yeah, it was a really cool, wild try. I thought that was going to get called.
Yeah.
The try, Lowe's try, James Lowe's try, that was called back with the feet when the guy was in a wrestling match. That was just a shitty call.
That was definitely one of those incidents where if I examined every single ruck, I can find something. But it looked so undeliberate. It looked like he fell over, his foot caught the ball, it went back. Craig Casey whips it out to James Lowe and he scores. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But they went over it with a fucking fine-tooth comb, didn't they?
I was kind of okay, fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
Kalen Doris tried. That was
the held up one.
I felt like they didn't look at it enough.
No, they didn't. I saw an angle and I thought, that's definitely a try. And they were like, no, don't look at it ever again. Bye.
But at the same time, I felt like you guys, I wasn't too upset about it because I was like, you know what? You guys shouldn't have been in this desperate situation. I felt like they had all the tools to not be in a desperate situation. And I'm like, you guys put this yourselves in a desperate situation. Let's talk about...
you want to stop there? You're on a roll.
I want to talk about Tyke Byrne.
Just ripping the ball out of people's hands whenever he feels like it.
He's not even just jackling. He's just running over,
doesn't have
grabbing
to
the ball.
Before you've even been tackled, he just walks up to you, plucks the ball at your hand, throws you on the ground and says, this is my ball now, and carries on playing. That man is saving Ireland at times, isn't he? Just getting him out of trouble every single time.
Yeah.
Van der Fleer had a game. I've been putting him down saying he looks a bit tired, but he actually had a decent game as well. So, locks and flanks for Ireland.
I think if they lose, when Tyke Byrne starts dipping in form or when he retires, that is they're never going to have a player like him.
No, he's a once in a generation world talent.
He saves the team so many times.
Yeah.
When he's gone, I think that'll be the biggest loss in Ireland right now because he keeps them in the game single-handedly.
He does.
Just turnovers and turnovers and turnovers.
If you had 3 of him, you wouldn't lose a game ever, would you?
I don't think so. I don't think you would.
No.
I don't, and they just do not have a player that's even close. He's their DuPont. He's Ireland's DuPont.
Yeah, he totally is. Yeah, I keep saying, pound for pound, I think the best forward in the world.
Yeah, because there's not a single international setup that wouldn't have him in a team.
No, not at all.
And he was fantastic. Also, let's talk about Jesse Creel.
Jesse Creel had a hell of a game.
He was a fucking cannonball.
He was, wasn't he? He doesn't look like much compared to some other international centers. He looked kind of his muscular form is massive, but relative to his frame, he doesn't look like a fucking massive shoot up the middle center, does he? But he can do everything. Like, he'll gain fucking 20 meters sometimes just because he's fucking willing himself forward, you know?
And was it just me, or did Malcolm Marks look like he lost weight?
He did. He
looked
slim.
like who was that Welsh player, flanker? Fuck, what's his name?
Lost a bunch of weight.
Looks like our friend Levi.
Justin Tipperick.
Yeah, the last 2 years he looked like he was ill. Like, he looked like he lost 90 pounds.
He looks like he went to the forest for a year and just
Malcolm Marks didn't look like that, but it looked like he
No.
lost some significant weight.
Yeah, no, Justin Tipperick just didn't have a haircut in about 2 years. But yeah, Malcolm Marks came back, nicely tanned, thin.
It was good to see him back.
It was good to see. I like Malcolm Marks. He's always smiling as well. He's always smiling. He's a wholesome guy.
Fuck, these are two teams that can bang.
Who's going to win next week?
Well, we didn't even say who was going to win next week for Australia, Wales.
Better go back. No, let's stay where we are, and then we'll go back to Wales.
Next week, oh fuck. I'm gonna say, man, this is tough.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see Ireland. Ireland's got some, like, game management, decision making issues that is pretty fucking, like,
Significant.
it's significant.
They looked a bit desperate today.
You saw it in the championship cup final with Leinster.
Yeah.
It's these Leinster players. Like, you saw it in the Champions Cup final.
Yeah.
You saw it in the URC final.
Yeah.
And you're seeing the same shit in this final.
Yeah.
It's just like they have this, like, fucking, like, they just make these dumb fucking, like,
They've got in their head a bit, haven't they?
yeah.
I think James Lowe is the perfect metaphor for this game. At times can score at will,
Yeah.
but at times is your own worst enemy.
Ireland were knocking the ball on a lot.
Yeah.
But I would contribute that to the pressure, that, like, the constant pressure that
And Springboks put in huge fucking hits, don't
Yeah,
they?
they put in
you're gonna knock
huge
it on.
hits,
Yeah.
and the constant pressure from the knock-ons. So I don't think that's like I think any team playing
That's going to happen, isn't it?
Because, like, the Boks are doing the same shit too.
Yeah.
Right. Like the Ireland is putting constant pressure on them, and they were fucking up all over the place too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to be, like, a main factor. That's just something they're going to have to deal with. Both teams are doing that. I think they got the decision making. I don't know if they're going to be able to hurdle over this decision, like making this bad decisions.
No, I don't think so either. I think that's their big problem right now. And I think, going back to what I've been saying a lot, like, Ireland's starting team, one of the best in the world. Maybe at times the best in the world. Their replacements are not.
I don't know. I think Finlay Bealham is great.
But you don't talk about him in the same breath as you talk about Porter or Furlong, do you? You don't talk about someone like Cian Healy in the
Furlong
same way you do.
was injured and Finlay Bealham was starting, we were playing just as good. So I like a lot of people, and I've said this before too a long time ago. Like, he's not that much of a step down. Now, Cian Healy and Porter, that's like a night and day kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But there is, like, a significant.
I didn't think James Ryan coming on made that much of a difference either, to be honest. I didn't see him doing too much, you know?
No. He's kind of like, he used to be like the guy.
Yeah, he used to be amazing.
Now he's kind of like Joe McCarthy, just kind of like.
And, you know, like you said, fullback. And poor Craig Casey, he got absolutely minced, didn't he? Like, you know, hope he's okay and everything. But he had a decent game.
Yeah, I think.
But they were on their third choice scrum half by the end of the game.
Now they're going with Callum Blade and Connor Murray, and Connor Murray's been fucking questionable too. So I think this is a game that the Boks really should expect to win.
I think they did. You know, I think they looked confident in that game. I know we're looking at it through different lenses.
No, I'm talking about the next game.
Oh yeah, I think South Africa win that game now. Yeah, because I didn't think South Africa ever looked like they were going to lose that game. It was close.
I didn't think that Ireland looked like they were going to lose that game.
Strange.
Until, like, that last end. I thought, like, it could go. I thought it
was close, right? It was
either
close.
way,
yeah.
right? I was like, this game could go. Like, whoever gets the last laugh is like, you know, this is going to be
Comes
a last
down to a kick.
Yeah, it's going to come down to some kind of bullshit like that.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a bunch of drama, which I didn't really like.
Yeah.
But I think this is a game that, like, South Africa have all the opportunity now to take it to series.
Really turn the screw.
You got injuries. You got, like, a team that's kind of, like, struggling with management, team, like, game management and stuff like this. So this is theirs because the Springboks did not look like that.
Didn't look like what?
They did. They I thought they were doing everything right.
I thought they wasted chances. I thought they got into the 22 a lot, and then they just didn't quite know what to do with it at times. And I put that down to good Irish defense.
Yeah, I thought both teams were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They'd both get into each other's like halves, and then once it got there, the pressure, like they would just something would happen.
The
they would cough the
defensive
ball
line
up.
speed just kind of chokes the attempt. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so these are two really even teams, but I think there's just too many variables in the Irish setup.
Yeah.
So I would say Springboks are probably going to win this next game.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I'd say by about 5 points, but
yeah, there's just too many things. Like this is everything's going right for the Springboks right now.
yeah, and but that's what I'm saying. Their depth is immense as well. There's not a case where if you replace a guy for a guy, they're discovering talent. That new guy Van der Merwe, like they're just discovering talent all the time. They put on debutantes and they have fucking amazing games. So
he didn't even get on the. I don't even think he got on the team.
I think he did right at the end.
No, he wasn't on the team.
You sure?
Yeah, the Van der Merwe. No, he wasn't even on it.
Oh,
but yeah, it just Rassie's in the head.
he's in your head.
Yeah, because they got frustrated, and I gotta take it back too. I gotta be like, yeah, some of the bad decision making was contributed to the intense pressure from the Springboks. I gotta give them a little more credit.
I just think
I don't
you've
want
got
to
to
say
give
that
them
they
credit for winning the game. That's all I'm saying. They won that game.
Yeah, they won that game.
Mm.
But Ireland made it a lot harder on themselves.
They definitely did.
Because I thought that was a game they could have won. That's what's frustrating. Like, they could have won this game.
Yeah.
They could have won the Champions final, like Leinster.
I think that's how I feel about Wales all the time recently.
Maybe
Cardiff all the time. So I'm used to seeing it from the other point of view, where it's like those mistakes are our fault, but teams who win don't make those mistakes. That's the sign of a good team. And Ireland are usually that.
I thought that Ireland's win in the World Cup, they made a bunch of fucking mistakes in that one, and they were lucky to come out with a win there
Against South Africa.
Yeah. They made that game really hard to win when they could have made it easier for themselves.
These two teams really do know how to turn each other's screws. They really know how to get under each other's skins, and it makes for sometimes a bit of a messy contest, but definitely one you totally, because it's so fucking physical. They're just absolutely blasting each other, and they study each other, right? Like they know what each other are planning to do, and it's like, you go fuck him up. This is what he's going to do.
I love these two games. I love these two teams' style play.
Yeah.
I love South Africa style.
Yeah.
I love South African rugby.
Yeah.
It's the winning rugby. It's the way to win.
Yeah.
I love it. And you could tell the most successful teams are playing like South Africa.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
Yeah.
And South Africa is they're clinical, they're tight, they don't take a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
They have really good discipline.
What I like
that
they
play a hard
do,
forward game.
I didn't think they would do this, but they did. When they tried this against France, they'll kick a high ball that's contestable, but it's not too far of a kick, right? And I thought it was surprising that they did that against Ireland today. They'll kick a high contestable ball because they want to play in a bit of a different area in the field, and they want you to make a mistake when you try and catch it, right? And if it's Hugo Keenan, I don't think he makes those mistakes, and Ireland go, we'll fucking eat up your middle of the field kicks.
I think that's why they were trying it, because he wasn't there.
Exactly.
They
Did their homework, right?
Yeah.
They did their homework. So they knew how to put pressure on Ireland in the right ways. And I think they know how to weaponize their scrum at the right time. I don't think they mind losing a few scrums at the start of the game, because they know the longer this game goes on, the stronger our scrum gets.
Well, I heard a technical analysis about their scrum, how they, for the first half of games, they do a very vanilla scrum.
Yeah.
To kind of get the ref looking at them, stop looking at them.
Yeah.
To be like, these guys are
fine.
doing everything right. They're just doing a solid,
Yeah.
So the ref kind of stops paying attention to them.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really interesting take on the box scrum, because they get the ref to believe in them.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not going to do anything wrong.
Yeah. We're squeaky clean.
Look squeaky clean. They hold it straight, not do anything fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then when it comes big times, like that last scrum, that's when the dark arts come.
Yeah.
Right? They have all the confidence of the ref.
Spells under there.
Yeah, they start doing spells.
Sacrificing goats at the base of the
using
scrum.
frog's breath.
Yeah,
shit like that.
And another thing, that's a really good point. And that you're also lulling the other team into a false sense of security. We can beat these guys. They're just scrummaging normally. And then the last 20 minutes of the game, what the fuck are they doing now? Ref, can you see this? And by that point, he's like, I know, I can't see shit. They're fine. They've been fine all game. And then marching you back 20 meters, right? So yeah, good point. That's the thing with this. He's in your head, man. He's always in your head. He's up to something. He's probably got RG Snyman whispering, "Hey, at Munster, this is what they do." And Jack Nienaber's on the phone. Do you know what I saw them do today? I see. This is what they do.
Because the South Africans
secrets.
are all mixed in the system now.
Yeah, exactly. They're fucking under their skin.
Degrading it from the inside out.
Leinster can't beat the Bulls, and meanwhile, they've got fucking half the coaches over in Ireland going, "This is what they're up to this time, Rassie." And it's some conspiracy shit, and I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. This is going to be, next game's going to be fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm expecting the Springboks to win this game now.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't think Ireland can. They might even come out harder.
Yeah.
And if they clean up their act, they can. If they clean up some shit.
Yeah.
Like, because James Lowe now is going to be like, he's one of those players.
He's not going to make those mistakes again, I don't think.
Yeah, because he's one of those players that takes criticism to heart.
Yeah.
And he proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah.
Because he was taking a lot of criticism back in the day about his defense and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And look at the kind of player he turned into.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to see a different player from him.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see a lot of different attitudes going into this game too.
Yeah.
So there's going to be, like, I don't think that, like the Bucks are not out of the woods. I think the odds are for them in this one.
Yeah.
In the next one. But, Ireland could still, like, this is still a fucking great team.
And I think it's exactly what Rassie said to South Africa afterwards, right? He's like, we're not underestimating these guys. They're going to come back stronger, you know? Because the thing about Ireland now is they're going to probably Craig Casey. It looked like he had a bad injury. I doubt he'll play next week if it's a head injury. So I doubt they'll start Conor Murray. I think maybe they'll give Cowell Blade a shout, which is a gamble, right? I would put Frawley at fullback. And then I would tell James Lowe, love the enthusiasm, calm it down a bit, you're fucking class. And then you tell Crowley, fucking practice your 10 kicks, your place kicks a wee bit, and you've tidied up like 90% of the shit there. And then you think, just do what we're doing. Because right in those last 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes, last 10 minutes, Ireland knew they needed to score 12 points.
And remember, that was their bench.
And that was it. And they just came on and did it, right? They just came on and like, we can score fucking tries from the middle of the field right now. And they did it, right?
And they got their bench on, and everyone was questioning the depth of them. They came on, and like some of the best rugbyers played when they came on.
Conor Murray scored, right?
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. Rassie knows that. Rassie's always 5 steps ahead of you. He's telling the South Africans just what I said right now.
I just don't think Andy Farrell's an idiot, though.
No, but he's not subtle.
He's a very clinical.
That's the thing. He's got his like whiteboard out and he's like, you're going to do this. Meanwhile, Jack Nienaber's set up a secret camera on someone's fucking forehead and he's fucking, that's the Springboks don't just beat you on the field. They beat you everywhere. They're in your fucking bedroom. They're in your fucking chest of drawers.
Putting shit in your food.
Yeah, exactly. Putting the wrong fucking socks on so it fucks with you,
Yeah, they are a masterclass at the mind. They are masters of the mind fuckery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and good on them.
And
I want more of that.
And you're in their backyard right now. They're putting bed bugs in the hotel. Like,
if Ireland win the next game, what does that say about the series?
I think it says what we thought, that they're both very evenly matched teams. They're the two best teams in the world.
How do you think, if they lose the next game, how do you think Springbok fans are going to react? I
don't think that, because what they like to do, the Springboks, the media, the coaches and everything, they like to be sort of magnanimous in defeat, even though they're seething under the surface because it does hurt their pride. They're like, we've got great respect for Ireland and, it's a brilliant series, one each. But, they're already thinking, how the fuck do we beat these cunts? How the fuck do we beat them next time, right? They never stop thinking about it.
And then
Rassie's like the It Follows monster from the movie. He's fucking coming. He's out. He's coming for you. You know what I mean? So I don't think South Africa.
How do you think the Irish media is going to take it if they win?
Terribly.
The number one in the world.
Yeah. I think the difference between these two teams right now is, even though South Africa are acting like they've got something to prove, that constant drive to be the best is going to serve them well in this World Cup cycle. Because you remember the last World Cup cycle, Rassie took some losses while he figured out his team, right? And if he's already winning with the team he's got and he's experimenting a little bit, then it bodes well for the future. Whereas Ireland still aren't at the stage where they can sit back and go, we've proved the world we're the best, right? Yeah, they won the Six Nations, but until they win the World Cup, they still aren't going to have that little badge and that mental clarity to go, we know when and how to experiment and how to game manage, etc.
Also, club teams need to stop paying big money for Springbok players because they do not give a fuck.
No.
Like, look how good fucking Sia Khaleesi was today.
Yeah.
Look how good he was today.
Yeah.
And like, he goes to race 92 and he gets called fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
He sits there eating hamburgers for 6 months.
You know, RJ
gets on the
Snyman,
Ozempic straight as
like,
soon as he gets back in South Africa.
yeah, RJ Snyman had the shakiest fucking contract ever in Munster.
Yeah.
Kitsoff was just like fucking like
Dwayne Vermeulen hangs out in Ulster for a few weeks.
yeah, like these guys like stop paying money to these guys.
Yeah.
They do not give a fuck unless they have the green and gold jersey on.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
Yeah.
Like go let these guys play in Japan.
Yeah.
Where they like can just have a run because they only like really step up when it comes to the fucking.
But that's the thing. We heard it a lot on podcasts recently, right? It's like it means so fucking much to South Africans to play for South Africa, doesn't it? That's why they're psycho in their. That's why some of their fans are psycho. We kind of love it for it, right? Like it just means so fucking much to. Because if the power runs out at the end of the day, at least you won a fucking game of rugby, right? Like, so I love it.
I love it too, man. When they brought that whole fucking pack on too,
Yeah,
on the
that was a
49th
flex,
minute.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
they're just fucking with you the whole time, all the time, you know.
Yeah, Rassie just likes that.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, it was closer than I'm making out though. It was closer.
Well, I think we talked about everything we needed to talk about.
Who's going to win Wales Australia next week?
I don't know.
I think it's going to be Australia. Sad now.
It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be on Australia. I think England are gonna win next game.
Mm-hmm.
But All Blacks didn't impress me much.
They
look like just the All Blacks, like they've been the last couple of years. They look beatable.
Yeah.
Wales, Australia. I don't know. I think this game
bowl
goes
on
either way, and then I think the Box will win next Saturday.
Yeah, me too. I think that.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair summary.
Good on the Southern Hemisphere. In the Southern Hemisphere domination, we're back to the old days.
Back to the fucking old days of just the Southern Hemisphere winning everything.
We just have this like glory, like, oh, we could do it, and then
they just laugh at us and go, no, you can't. Fuck off.
We'll fucking destroy you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, friends, please like and share the podcast. Subscribe. You can find us on X. You can email us at thefriendsofrugbypod@gmail.com. And have a good one, folks. Anything else?
Bye. No, I'm good.
Add
Take
something.
it easy.
Say something.
Farewell.